4-3 My fam, it's Valentine in the morning. There is a 4-pack of tickets for Legoland coming your way at 7:35 this morning. Family 4-pack. Grab them. Your kids will be smiling. So happy when you come home. We're going to Legoland! Yay! Thanks, Mom and Dad. I love you forever. Thanks! Yay! We're yay at the end. Okay.
$4 a gallon to get at a lot of stations. Jamie Court is president of the Consumer Watchdog. He'll testify in front of a state senate committee today, talking about whether there's been gouging going on. Jamie, good morning to you. Do you have proof that there's been gouging?
Well, look, the proof is in the pump. I mean, we paid an extra $550 million for gasoline in California in February compared to drivers nationwide. And if you take out taxes, which are about 15 cents a gallon, we still paid about $400 million more than the rest of the country. And the cost of making gas hasn't gone up. So, yeah, we're paying 84 cents more per gallon than the rest of the nation today.
All right, well, let me stop you right there. That's an allegation. That's not proof.
No, it actually is. That's how much more we paid. The
I
question
understand
is
that.
gouging.
But who has to, if there is gouging, then you've got to have some kind of a proof that somebody did something, people talked together, there was some kind of...
Well, I didn't say there was an violation of antitrust laws. Here's what we found in the report we're issuing at 1:30 today. Refiners in California over a 10-year period have about half as much gasoline on hand than the rest of the nation. We've got about 10.7 days of inventory. Around the rest of the nation, they have 18 days. So when a refinery breaks or two refineries break, the price goes through the roof. So the way the oil companies have been able to have these price spikes, and in each of these price spikes, we can show that the oil refiners make huge profits. They go up almost in direct proportion to the price spikes. The way they do it is by keeping California running on a week's less gas than the rest of the nation. And by doing that, they assure themselves profits. Now, I'm not saying that's an antitrust violation. What I'm saying is it's something that the legislature needs to remedy by telling the refiners they need to keep more gasoline on hand for when these refinery outages happen.
All right, but you're blaming the oil companies here.
Who else would I blame? I mean, they're the ones who keep us running on empty.
But if that's the case, then why would you find one gasoline station of the same brand selling nearly at $4 a gallon here? And we can find these all over Southern California and L.A. One gasoline station selling at nearly $4, another of the very same brand selling at like $3.50.
That's another issue we could talk about for a while. There's certainly regional differences, but the fact that Californians
I'm talking within 2 miles.
I agree. There's something we studied as part of a gasoline pricing task force, and there is no question among the station owners, and sometimes among branded stations versus independent stations, some real regional differences. But the bigger problem is California as a geographic island is paying 84 cents more per gallon than the rest of the nation when the cost of crude is going down, and the oil companies are getting rich off that. So that is something that the legislature can fix by requiring that oil refiners keep a certain amount of days of supply on hand sufficient to meet demand when refineries break. How do you deal with this other issue of regional variations? That's a little bit more complicated because it gets into the vertical integration of the industry.
Oh, when we start talking vertical integration, then we want people to try it out real fast.
That's why I think it's another conversation. But today's hearings are really about why are we paying so much more in California for our gasoline? And I'm hoping that at the end of the day, the legislature is going to look at greater transparency in terms of this and greater accountability.
Jimmy, we have to go. Jimmy Court there at Consumer Watchdog with us live. KNX News Time, 7:25. Traffic and weather together on the 5s, brought to you by your Southern California BMW centers. And here's Jen.
All right, we're going to get up to our airborne's getting tossed around a little bit in the sky. Let's go to Jeff Bond, Air 1070 over the 405.
All righty, keeping all lanes of this 405 open is job one, that's for sure. We had a little minor problem here southbound in between Burbank and the 101, so that is clear delays. But it still is, a morning drive slow coming down from Roscoe Boulevard up and over the hill. The good news here we can assure you is once you get on the downhill side, past Sunset Boulevard from there down to LAX, things are looking pretty good. Look at the Santa Monica Freeway coming up.
All right, northbound out of the 405 in the South Bay curve. We got a new problem reported at Crenshaw with the fire department on the scene. Let's go ahead and go to Michael Bryan in Air 1070. Mike.
Just over the 210 westbound. That's going to slow really heavy here, starting at the 57. From the 57, you're on the brakes most of the way into Pasadena.
If your choice is to take the 105 into LAX, as I just mentioned, South Bay curve heavy on that North 405, West 105 jam-packed all the way from the 605 into LAX. Let's go to Scott Burton, found something on the 60 in Air 1070. 1070.
It is an accident 60 westbound, just west of Paramount. Number 3 lane taking out some right shoulder activity as well. Backed up out of Hacienda Heights, more select through the 710 out toward the East Lane interchange.
For a limited time, get 0.9% APR plus a one-payment credit on many select certified pre-owned BMW models. Visit SoCalBMW.com/CPO today for details. Traffic and weather to get on the 5s. Our next report at 7:35 from your Southern California traffic leader, KNX 1070 at CBSLA.com.
Evelyn Tap says a nice day on tap for us here in Southern California. Partly cloudy skies today. Temps are going to be up to about 80 or so. Tomorrow, even a little bit warmer. Thursday and Friday, back to the 90s across the area. Right now in Studio City this morning is 58. Culver City has 55. Huntington Beach has 54. And in Santa Monica right now, it's 57 degrees. Each franchise independently owned and operated.
Okay, so I really think you're going to love this house. It just came on the market, and it's gorgeous inside. Here we are. Oh my gosh, it's stunning. Look at this room. The lights on the windows, the rugs, the pillows. It's straight out of a magazine. Isn't it incredible? Want to know the best part? They didn't even hire a decorator. Budget Blinds do it all without the designer fees. Budget Blinds? Yep, Budget Blinds. They can transform any room in a snap. You can get professional. They even do all the measuring and installation. You don't have to lift a finger. I'll take it. The house? No, the number for Budget Blinds. Introducing the new Inspired Drapes collection, exclusively from Budget Blinds. New looks, new colors, new styles to add the perfect finishing touch to your home. Drapes, shades, blinds, rugs, pillows, and more. Be the first in your neighborhood to see our new collection. Call today at 1-800-260-9747 to set up your in-home consultation. That's 1-800-260-9747. 1-800-260-9747.
At Chevy, we know the best way to find new roads
is to own the one you're on.
For this month is Truck Month.
Celebrate the final days of Truck Month with legendary savings on award-winning Chevys. Right now, when you combine cash back, cash allowance, and special Truck Month discounts, you drive away with $7,000 in total savings on Silverado. For all the details, find new roads at your Southern California Chevy dealer by March 31st.
For more than 120 years, the nonprofit University of La Verne has offered exceptional college degree programs. Our Academic Merit Award, worth up to $5,000, makes your degree more affordable, no matter where you call home. The University of La Verne's 11 campuses and acclaimed online programs bring quality education to you. Attend an information session on Wednesday, March 25th at 6 p.m. Call 877-GO-TO-ULV or visit laverne.edu. University of La Verne. Great university. Great value.
Hello, this is Don Johnson, Vice Chairman of American Business Bank. Over the last 17 years, we have built our bank on the individual client attention, integrity, and respect. These are the backbones for successful financial services. Member FDIC.
When the News Watch never stops, always live and local. This is KNX 1070 News Radio.
Good morning, I'm Dick Helton.
And I'm Vicki Moore. Some of our top stories.
Falling through the sky over the Alps, and they're all dead.
Angelina Jolie undergoes more surgery to avoid cancer.
It's Tuesday, March 24th. Here's what's happening now at 7:30.
150 passengers and crew aboard a German Airbus dropped 31,000 feet in just about 8 minutes to their deaths. The CEO of the plane's parent company, Lufthansa, among those expressing great sorrow today.
Voice our pity for what has happened.
The plane was traveling from Barcelona to Dusseldorf. Reporter Nick Martin is at the airport in Barcelona where relatives of the dead have been arriving.
They've quickly been ushered away to a private room. Obviously there is a huge media scrum here, but nobody is talking to the media.
The big question, what happened to this plane? A distress call went out, but it's believed that was automated, came in at about 5,000 feet, not from the crew. CBS News transportation safety analyst Mark Rosinger says investigators have arrived now at the crash site in the Alps.
Pieces of the aircraft itself and look specifically for the cockpit voice recorders, the flight data recorder, the black box.
The German Chancellor Angela Merkel also speaking this morning, expressing great sorrow about the crash, and she is expected to go to the crash site in the Alps tomorrow.
Angelina Jolie had her ovaries and fallopian tubes removed last week to prevent cancer. KNX 1070's John Bear live at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where the Academy Award winner had a double mastectomy just 2 years ago.
The 39-year-old actress writes in the New York Times that a recent blood test showed a possible early sign of cancer. Our CBS medical expert says she can no longer have kids after this procedure.
Now she's without the hormone-producing ovaries, so menopause was induced about a decade earlier, than in the average woman.
Jolie revealed 2 years ago that she carries a defective breast cancer gene that puts her at high risk of developing breast and ovarian cancer. Her mother died of ovarian cancer, and her maternal grandmother also had ovarian cancer. Reporting live, John Baird, KNX 1070 News Radio.
We're going to have more on this coming up with a cancer specialist at the Mayo Clinic. That's coming up at 7:47.
Teachers in the LA school district say they plan to boycott faculty meetings today. It's the latest round of a bitter contract fight. Let's get the latest live from KNX 1070's Pete Demetrio.
It all depends on what side of the action you're on. The UTLA says it's boycotted the faculty meetings today and on April 7th and the 14th are part of an escalation of efforts to get the district to offer more in the way of a wage settlement. LAUSD spokesman Tom Waltman said the meetings are mandatory and boycotting is tantamount to an illegal strike, according to the definition set down in a 1989 decision by a labor mediator.
We're telling UTLA's members if they don't go to the meeting, if they in fact follow through with the boycott, then they won't be paid for that time.
The UTLA has declared an impasse in contract talks with the district. Teachers want an 8.5% pay hike. The district says anything more than 5% would mean layoffs of teachers. Pete Demetrio, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Well, the consumer prices are up for the first time in 4 months. Guess what? Led by an increase in the price of gasoline. Here's Frank Monte.
Consumer price index of 0.2% last month after dropping 0.7% the previous month. In fact, January's decline was the biggest seen in 6 years. Now, taking out food and energy, core prices also rose 0.2% last month. The cost of rent, clothing, new and used cars, airfares all increased. Core prices up 1.7% over the past year. Most notable